The dawn of a new day began to creep through the leaves, bringing the first gentle, warm rays of sunlight to pour into the small but impeccably tidy kitchen. The morning air was fresh and tranquil, with only the chirping of birds on the branches around the house signaling a busy yet joy-filled day ahead. In their familiar kitchen, Tien and Mother Loy had woken up early, gathering around the hearth to prepare a batch of traditional bongai, thorn leaf cake. Every step was meticulously carried out by the mother and daughter, from kneading the dough and preparing the filling to wiping clean the banana leaves used for wrapping. Looking out at the yard and noticing the sky shifting toward the sweltering heat of the rising summer sun, Tien suddenly thought of those who had to work hard outdoors. She quickened her pace and rushed to the edge of the garden, where lush green tea bushes were basking in the morning sun. With skillful hands, she picked the freshest handfuls of tea leaves, still wet with night dew. After washing them, she returned inside to light another fire, placing a large pot on it to boil water. She intended to prepare a refreshing drink and bring it directly to the construction site to cool down Jack and the workers who were laboring tirelessly in this harsh weather. Just as the pot of green tea was taken off the stove and set aside in a corner to cool, the first bongai in the steamer began to release billowing steam, carrying the signature aroma of thorn leaves blended with the sweetness of molasses and glutinous rice. Wasting no time, Tien quickly slung her familiar bamboo basket over her shoulder, preparing for her next task. She walked briskly across a small, babbling stream, the familiar path leading to the garden on the other side, where rows of dragon fruit trees were in harvest season. Under careful tending, plump, red-fleshed dragon fruits with vibrant, deep pink skin revealed themselves. She carefully harvested them one by one, neatly packing them into her basket until it grew heavy on her shoulders. This trip yielded a well-deserved reward of over 20 kilograms of fresh, high-quality red-fleshed dragon fruit. Right after, Tien brought all the harvested fruit to the local market. Thanks to her charm, warmth, and above all, the superb quality of the sweet dragon fruits, her small stall quickly caught people and oppos' attention. In no time, she sold out her entire basket, thanks to the enthusiastic support of the neighbors. After finishing her work at the market, Tien quickly returned home, joy written all over her face. By this time, Mother Loy had thoughtfully brewed a pot of rich green tea and was patiently waiting for her daughter-in-law to return so they could finalize the refreshing drink together. The two of them set to work, adding juicy slices of fresh lime, a touch of light sugar, and cold ice cubes, creating the perfect thirst-quenching beverage. Once everything was ready, mother and daughter sat together on the breezy porch, peeling open the freshly cooked bongai, which were still hot, soft, and fragrant. Holding a cake in her hand, Mother Loy smiled with pride and began to share its origins. She mentioned that this was a very special hand-pounded cake recipe she was fortunate enough to learn from a close friend in Chaobang. The meticulousness of pounding the dough by hand and their secret method explained why the cake tasted so rich, and why the crust had such a distinct glossy, smooth, and chewy texture. Tien listened intently, secretly thanking her mother for her skillfulness. Aware that time was ticking away and the sun outside was growing harsher, Tien did not want the people at the construction site to wait any longer. She hurriedly carried the pitcher of ice-cold lime tea and skillfully held a basket of still-warm bongai in her other hand, heading straight to the construction area. At this moment, at the new bridge project, the work atmosphere was incredibly urgent and high pressure as the construction entered the formwork removal stage. The sound of machinery and hammering, combined with the scorching heat of the sun beating down on the concrete blocks, made the environment suffocating. Right at the peak of their exhaustion, Tien and oppos' unexpected appearance, along with her refreshing gifts full of love and care, brought a breath of fresh air. The refreshing iced lime tea and the sweet, chewy bongai prepared by her and her mother deeply moved Jack and all the construction workers. This timely care not only quenched their physical thirst but also acted as an invaluable emotional boost, washing away the fatigue and hardship of long hours working under the hot sun. During that brief rest at the construction site, another piece of joy arrived when Jack received a phone call from Uncle Dung. Over the phone, Uncle Dung extended a sincere invitation, asking the whole family to come down to his farm tonight for an intimate dinner together. Upon receiving the invitation, Jack and Tien quickly returned home after finishing their workday to get ready. Everyone chose neat, polite outfits to show respect for the host and Oppo's invitation. Additionally, mother and daughter did not forget to pack some fresh red-fleshed dragon fruits and a few traditional bonsai as gifts to bring along. When everything was ready, the family of 3 stepped into the pre-arranged taxi, heading straight for Uncle Dung and Oppo's farm. For Tien, this was a completely new experience as it was her first time visiting the place. As the car stopped, a vast, lush green space brimming with natural vitality unfolded before her eyes. Amidst that fresh and peaceful atmosphere, any initial awkwardness quickly melted away as everyone pitched in to help Uncle Dung prepare the ingredients and cook the dishes. After moments of preparation filled with laughter, the family and Uncle Dung gathered around the cozy dinner table, fully enjoying moments of happiness and togetherness. However, the most unexpected and sacred moment of that evening arrived just as the lights around the farm began to glow brightly, casting a shimmering reflection onto the green foliage, and the cozy family meal was drawing to a close. Having weathered countless ups and downs, trials, and storms of life together, now that both of their hair had begun to turn gray with time, Uncle Dung decided to gather all the courage he had built up over the years to express the sincere feelings he had always kept hidden in his heart for Mother Loy. Without any extravagant, empty words or a romantic, flashy proposal like the youth of today, the middle-aged man spoke slowly, using rustic words from the bottom of his heart to voice the greatest wish of his life. He sincerely hoped that Jack and Tien would open their hearts, understand the thoughts of the elderly, and accept him in a different capacity, as a true member of the family. He also gently hinted that the farm construction was now mostly complete, with only a few minor cleaning and finishing steps left, so he wished to welcome Mother Loy to live here with him. This way, the 2 elderly souls could rely on each other, keep each other company morning and night, and share the joys and sorrows of their twilight years. Every now and then, if Mother Loy missed her children and grandchildren, they could take a bus back to Tien and Jack's place to gather and enjoy family time. Uncle Dung completely understood that Jack and Tien were incredibly filial children who always wanted to personally care for and nurture Mother Loy in the best possible way, but at this sunset stage of life, he only wished for the 2 of them to have a chance to lean on each other's shoulders, sharing the remaining peaceful and quiet years of their lives. As soon as that sudden yet heartfelt confession ended, the entire space around the dinner table seemed to fall still, and time appeared to freeze for a moment. Both Jack and Tien were incredibly surprised by these frank disclosures, while Mother Loy was the most stunned and astonished of all. The gentle mother and Oppo's face instantly flushed red, showing clear embarrassment, confusion, and a bit of shyness before the sincerity and seriousness of her longtime friend, especially since this was expressed directly in front of her children. In stark contrast to his mother's shyness and timidity, Jack burst into a happy, radiant smile filled with deep understanding for his elders. He completely empathized with and treasured Uncle Dung and Oppo's heartfelt, deeply responsible words for his mother. Jack knew very well that no matter how happy and comfortable his mother was living with him and his wife, the joy brought by children and grandchildren could never fully replace the empathy, sharing, and close bond of a lifelong partner from the same generation who shared the same life experiences. He always wanted his beloved mother to enjoy the most complete happiness, to have a true, solid shoulder to lean on whenever she was weary. For that reason, Jack immediately spoke up in enthusiastic support, fully agreeing that as soon as Uncle Dung and Appo's farm campus was completely finished, Mother Loy could comfortably move here to live and enjoy her new life. In his immense excitement and joy, Jack even proactively offered to arrange and host a small, warm, yet fully traditional wedding ceremony to formally and properly welcome his mother to her new home in front of all their relatives. Hearing her children mention a grand wedding at this age made Mother Loy even more embarrassed and flustered. She gently waved her hand as if to decline her son and Appo's proposal, wearing a gentle smile while softly chiding her children and Appo's eagerness, saying that both of them were already old with gray hair and wrinkled skin, so there was no need to cause extra trouble and expenses with a wedding. Mother Loy shared that she only hoped for her simple days ahead to pass in peace and simplicity, where the two of them could be by each other and Appo's side, caring for one another during times of sickness, which would be more than enough and completely fulfilling. That meaningful evening finally closed with vibrant, joyful laughter and eyes filled with the warmth and love everyone had for one another. Amidst the vast, breezy farm filled with the gentle scent of plants and trees, they were no longer strange guests visiting or ordinary friends. Instead, the souls of all members had truly merged into a single heartbeat, together feeling the complete, rounded happiness of a true family. Thank you so much to all of you for always accompanying and following the long journey filled with emotional highs and the warmth of Tien and Appo's family throughout the past. Please remember to hit the subscribe button on my channel so you and Appo's miss any exciting moments, and let and Appo's look forward to the next fascinating videos.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay thì mình tiếp tục đưa đến với mọi người một video về câu chuyện của Tử Tiên. Như mọi người cũng đã biết thì các video trên kênh Tử Tiên sẽ là kể về các hành trình của Tử Tiên, tình yêu với giấc. Tuy nhiên thì trên kênh thì các nhân vật sẽ nói tiếng Việt và kênh của mình thì sẽ kể bằng tiếng Anh, và cũng như thêm một phần dự đoán câu chuyện, cũng như là mở rộng câu chuyện hơn để cái câu chuyện của mình nó trở nên hay và hấp dẫn hơn đối với mọi người. Thì ở trong video hôm nay thì như mọi người đã xem, nếu như mà xem tới cuối video thì mọi người cũng biết rằng hôm nay thì cái trang trại cũng như là căn nhà gỗ của bác Lợi đã xong, thì bác Lợi đã mời Tử Tiên, Giác và mẹ Lợi đến. Nếu mọi người xem kênh từ đầu thì cũng biết rằng mẹ Lợi và bác Dũng thì đã có một cái khoảng tình cảm với nhau khá là sâu đậm. Tuy nhiên cả hai đã lớn tuổi nên ngại, và hôm nay thì bác Dũng đã thổ lộ với mẹ Lợi rằng sau này muốn được ở chung để cả hai bầu bạn. Điều này khiến cho Giác và Tử Tiên khá là bất ngờ, tuy nhiên rất vui mừng và đồng ý. Vậy thì liệu hành trình tiếp theo sẽ ra sao? Hãy cùng đón xem và ủng hộ cho kênh mình nhé. Tạm biệt mọi người, hẹn gặp lại.